Jadon Sancho to Chelsea? Just what type of player are Chelsea getting? We all know the backstory of Jadon Sancho. He started his career in Watford before moving to Manchester City in 2015. He then joined Bundesliga giants Borussia Dortmund before bursting onto the scene for them, and then eventually joining Manchester United, where it didn't quite happen, before now finding himself on loan at Chelsea. Now, because I think his time at Manchester United didn't quite go to plan, I think people have forgotten just how talented Jadon Sancho is. I mean, 158 games for Borussia Dortmund. He scored 53 goals and provided 67 assists. Back in the day, this guy was getting compared to Mbappe. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be bringing you his strengths, his weaknesses, and why I think he might actually be a better fit for Chelsea than he would for Manchester United. The first thing that Jadon Sancho is going to offer to Chelsea is positional flexibility. As you can see, he's played over 100 times at the top flight of football as a left winger and a right winger, and his numbers haven't even diminished. He played 145 times as a left winger, providing 50 goals and 40 assists, 106 times as a right winger, providing 31 goals and 39 assists. So his adaptability to play on either wing is absolutely excellent, and that's a testament to his ability and his in-game intelligence. Probably the most eye-catching and biggest asset of Jadon Sancho is his unbelievable dribbling. He's a street footballer. He even went on record saying he learned by watching videos of Neymar and Ronaldinho. That's the sort of flair he's got when he's on the ball. Now, Jadon Sancho is a dribbling demon and a well-rounded dribbler. When you're facing against him, expect to be committed into a challenge before he quickly changes direction or outwits you with a feint or a cutback or a piece of skill. If he receives a ball behind you, forget about it, because you're done by raw pace. Now, Sancho, one of his greatest strengths is definitely his one-on-one ability. His electric speed and acceleration enables him to fly past opponents. He's got such a great knack of just exploding from a stand-start position, which leaves the defenders absolutely isolated. His ability to accelerate and de-accelerate on the ball is frightening. He can chop and change his speed, moderate his speed in an instant. Sancho produces eye-catching moments, and this is going to excite the Chelsea fans. He's capable of exploding away from a stand-start position and swiftly reaching top speed. And his ability to manipulate the ball at top speed is what makes him such an effective dribbler. Now, there's two types of dribblers. There's the dribbler like Mbappe with a push and move, where he takes a heavier touch and just uses explosive power to get around players. Or there's those that take a lot of touches in quick succession, and Jadon Sancho is one of those. So effectively uses small and quick touches to change his direction before bursting past an opponent. Now, Jadon Sancho is a player that likes playing the half spaces. He's a pockets player. So essentially, when he's picking up space in the pockets, Sancho almost is static when he's receiving. Essentially, he does this to slow down his direct opponent, and then he can utilize his exceptional burst of speed to move over the 5 yards away from them. In doing this, he uses explosive touches, rapid acceleration, and when required, deceptive touches and body movements all contribute to his impressive one-on-one dribbling. Sancho uses disguised touches so well to evade oncoming press. He can chop inside onto his left foot or chop inside onto his stronger right foot, faintly slightly to his right to off-balance the opponent before moving away to his left, and he can do that both ways, which makes him an incredible two-way dribbler. So when he's in the final third, dribbling's a huge part of Sancho's game, and being a two-way dribbler allows him to create many chances at will, either by coming in inside, combining with teammates, or going on the outside, hitting the byline and looking for a cutback. Now, the way he finds space is excellent. He's constantly checking his surroundings, and that's a testament to his maturity. He's got the ability to act as a touchline winger, receive out wide, and isolate his man and one-on-one fullback, or he's got the ability to come in centrally. Like we've seen him do a lot at Borussia Dortmund. He came in centrally to receive on the ball, where he can get on the turn and get at the opponent. But where I find Sancho is not so great when he drops deep and looks to dribble over longer distances. He's so much more effective when he receives when he's higher up the pitch. And the reason why I say that is because he's a lot more carefree. He'll try things and be more innovative when he's higher up the pitch, when there's less risk occurred when losing the ball. If he was to try those things deeper in his own half, that's why he's not so effective. And I think that's why he's not so good. He can do it, but he's not so good at being a transition player. And this is one aspect why I think you'll be better under Maresca than he will under Ten Hag, because Ten Hag wants to be that quick transition counter-attacking team, whereas Maresca kind of allows his wingers at times to cheat a little bit and just position themselves further up the field, because that opens space for his other midfielders to play through the lines, because they're more of a possession-based team, and that's what Maresca wants to bring. So I think Sancho will have more freedom and more license to cheat a little. Now, the reason why Sancho is so incredible in pocket to space is because of his receiving techniques. It's not orthodox like many receivers. It's quite like a street footballer. He's got a flair about how he receives possession. First thing he does is checks his shoulders, looks for where the pressure will come from. Now, it all happens in one swift movement. It's a combination of balance, close control, agility, and decision-making. He understands where the pressure will come from, so he'll take a lateral touch either direction away from the press. So it's kind of like a spinning move, and this just completely offsets the opposition. Now, this is where Sancho's at his most dangerous, when he's facing the opposition goal. He loves to pull wide and isolate his fullback and beat them in one-on-one situations with his tremendous acceleration and skillful ability. But he's also got the technique and speed to help him excel in many different kinds of dribbles. He can carry the ball well in open spaces, although he tends to use those quick, short, close control touches. But he's also adapted, keeping the ball under pressure so well in tight spaces. So what I'm saying in essence, he's unbelievable in one-on-one situations and anywhere in the pitch, whether that be close to the touchline or centrally. But he always carries the ball skillfully through intense pressure. He has a unique way to keep defenders on the toes with his diverse skill set, but he also has the potential to change moments in a game instantly. Now, Sancho is very rarely dispossessed with the ball at his feet, and that's shown in his statistics. This is during his time at Man United as well, so you've got to take that in consideration. He wasn't as confident, so I'm not just going off the unbelievable Borussia Dortmund stats. He's sitting in the 99th percentile for take-ons attempted and successful take-ons, as well as sitting highly for progressive carries into the final third, and carries into the penalty area. These are statistics that you want and should expect from a flamboyant winger. Now, despite his unbelievable dribbling ability and ability to eliminate opponents out of the game through his dribbles, his most underrated aspect, in my opinion, is his ability to use 1-2 combinations or third-man combinations to beat an opponent. Although he does have the ability to dribble out of tight spaces, he doesn't always rely on this, and the release and timing of these passes is one of his most underrated qualities. Now, aside from dribbling, one of his biggest strengths lie in his impeccable decision-making, particularly when scoring or creating, especially when cutting inside from the right or left wing. Throughout the 90 minutes, Sancho constantly demonstrates a profound understanding of spatial dynamics. He's adapted navigating pockets of space, but he's also adapted identifying and creating angles to combine with teammates. So what I'm saying is, although Sancho's got the individual qualities, his game's not all marked by individual brilliance. He's also got the ability and the brilliance to combine with and interplay with teammates. And I think this suits Chelsea to a T, because you can... One of Jackson's biggest qualities is bringing others into play. And I think him and Sancho can strike a beautiful partnership. So there will be times where he does use that individualistic nature and try and beat his opponent, but he's also got a beautiful way to pass and vision to send a through ball to an opponent. Now, Sancho favours the through ball more than he does crossing. He loves to cut inside, even when he's playing on the right-hand side. He loves to cut inside, and he doesn't mind using his weaker left foot to try and open up and unlock defenses. So Sancho's vision and passing ability, often underrated aspects of his game. It allows him to thread inch perfect through balls between defenders, unlocking defenses, creating goal scoring opportunities for teammates. Now, what has become significant assets, and we've seen a massive improvement since he went into that Borussia Dortmund side, is his decision making when regarding to release the ball. One of the criticisms when he was younger and when he first early days at Borussia Dortmund was his ability to carry the ball into crowded areas when there was a pass available. But now he's actually matured his game to see the pass and play the pass and not hesitate to use and combine with teammates to get around opponents. And we're often seeing it at Borussia Dortmund, those little 1-2 combinations, those give and goes. He's learned the aspect to create space and then exploit space. And that's a testament to his in-game maturity. This is another reason why I think it could be a good fit at Chelsea, because crossing is a big aspect of a winger's game. Naturally, traditionally, wingers would get out wide, whip a ball in. That's not Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho likes to deliver those cute, incisive passes. And I think with Maresca's system, he likes to have runners in behind. And with Sancho's underrated vision and passing ability and release of the time of the ball, this would just be effective in finding those runners. This probably explains why Sancho has a high passing rate inside the penalty area. The statistics don't lie. He's sitting in the 93th percentile for passes in the penalty area and only the 68th percentile for crosses in the penalty area. This just goes to show he favours the pass more than he does crossing. And let's not forget he's played more than 100 times on the right wing. So naturally, you would expect him to get around the outside and hit a cross in. But he still decides to come inside and interchange with players. Although he's got the ability and he will at times go around the outside, his favoured method is to come inside. So by this methodology, it's not surprising to see his shot-creating actions, the majority come off a live pass. Now, one final aspect I want to touch about at his game, he's so good at making penetrated runs after combining with teammates. Now, he's become far better at using combination plays higher up the field before making a penetrated run in behind. This means he's extremely difficult to prevent and stop. It's a huge threat at goal. Now, we don't more often see him score regularly. And this was often done by breaking beyond the opposition's defensive line. So his goal scoring skill set often comes by exploiting and identifying space. He's got excellent lightning pace that allows him to just penetrate in behind the opposition's defensive line. Or most of his goals come from receiving out wide, cutting inside, and he's adapted just finding the far corner of the net. Now, Sancho is actually really composed in possession and when he's through on goal. And what I like about his scoring when he's through on goal, it's all instinctive. He takes his shots early. He doesn't dwell on the ball and allow the keeper to position himself accordingly and make the decision for him. He often shoots when the keeper's got less time to react. So Sancho's definitely, from an attacking output, is going to excite Chelsea fans. He's got the flair, he's got the confidence, he's got the composure, he's got the attributes to absolutely shine and thrive in a Chelsea system. Now, one thing I do want to mention, as I actually studied sports psychology at university, so I do look into this aspect. And what I'll say about Jadon Sancho, he didn't fail at Man United because of individual qualities. He failed because of the mentality. He was in the wrong environment. Now, when you're grown up and you're getting put on a pedestal that is, you're the best, you're this, you can do no wrong. When you eventually get some criticism and get told that you're not good enough, that is tough to take. That just completely ejects any confidence that you've got inside of yourself away. And that's hard to come back from. See similar characteristics in Modric. When he was in Ukraine, he was getting told he was going to win the Ballon d'Or. He was getting told he was the next best thing. And ultimately, his confidence went from 0 to 100. And when he got told he wasn't good enough, or the moment he started making mistakes and getting told he wasn't good enough for Chelsea, His confidence went 0 to 100. Football's a confidence game. These are not bad players. These are just players out of confidence. So let's quickly touch upon his weaknesses. And the first one I want to mention is consistency in crossing. As I mentioned throughout this video, his most preferred method is to come inside and thread through balls to unlock defenses. He just needs to get that confidence and ability to pick out players through crossing. So as he continues to dribble around opponents so frequently, this will just add another dimension in his creation. One aspect I would like to see in him is using the space a lot more. And what I mean by that is when he's dribbling at top speed, he often keeps the ball close to his encounters, taking many closer touches. This is problematic against opponents that can match him for speed. So over longer distances or open spaces, his high volume of touches can slow him down. And this is why I don't think he's as effective when dropping very deep and trying to transition and break through the lines that way. Another aspect would be defensively. Now, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's very good at blocking passing lanes and intercepting and cutting out passing lanes from opponents. But his tackling aspect needs work on. And this is why I don't think he would thrive in that wing-back role. So if the player on his side is inverting and he's tasked with that wing-back role, that's definitely not going to get the best out of Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho will add another dimension to Chelsea. One, he can interchange with players off the ball. And secondly, in attacking transitions, having Jadon Sancho, Cole Palmer, let's say Pedro Neto, all sprint towards the opposition goal will just open up a repeated threat. When you consider all three of them and their proficiency to exploit gaps during transition, makes them a devastatingly effective trio in transitions. If Chelsea can build that chemistry and be that free-flowing football, they're going to cause teams a lot of problems. I'm one that wants to see players succeed, so I'm desperate to see Jadon Sancho succeed at Chelsea. I can't wait for just the sheer vibes. Him, João Felix, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, and the others will bring. I can't wait for this to blossom. So there you go, guys. There is the end of the Jadon Sancho episode. And if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on another. Once again, I just want to say I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.